Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. Welcome, students. Today, we're going to be introduced to a new chapter of bravery and courage named His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty. It talks about how a protagonist confronts his fear and overcomes it with the help and support of his parents and siblings. This story is about a young seagull. But before we begin with our chapter, let me introduce to you our author. Liam O. Flaherty was a major Irish novelist, short story writer, and ranked as one of the foremost socialist writers in the first part of the 20th century, writing about the common people's experience and from their perspective. He has written novels like Thy Neighbor's Wife, The Black Soul, The Informer. He has also written 3 political satire novels and 1 social satire, Hollywood Symmetry, which was banned and republished in 2019. So coming back to our chapter, this imaginary story conveys the message that one learns by taking courage and not by sitting idle. This young seagull is fed lovingly by his parents, but when the time comes for him to fly, he feels himself afraid. At last, his mother hits upon a plan by persuading him with food in her beak, and the seagull finally learns how to fly. The young seagull was alone on his ledge, which means a cliff. His 2 brothers and his sister had already flown away. When he wanted to fly, he could not do so. He was afraid of flying. When his brother and sister flew, he failed to gather courage to fly. He was really very sad. His father and mother came to him. They asked him to fly. They even rebuked him, which means to express sharp disapproval or criticism or to scold. They threatened him, saying that if he did not fly, he would die of hunger there. But he could not move. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, no one had come near him. He had watched his parents and brothers and sister flying. His parents had been perfecting his brothers and sister how to dive for fish. They called him to fly, but he could not. The sun was rising. It was getting very hot. He felt the heat. He had not eaten for long. He had found a dried piece of a fish tail, but it wasn't enough. There was not even a single piece of food anywhere for him. He had gone forward and backward on the ledge, but he couldn't fly. He wanted to reach his parents. There was a deep sea below. The ridge was high, which means a long, narrow hilltop. The seagull closed his eyes, standing on one leg. He had the other leg hidden under his wing. He pretended to sleep. He thought that his parents didn't take notice of him. However, his mother was looking at him. He saw her tearing at a piece of fish at her feet. He was so mad to see the food. He gave out a sound to get it. His mother replied in a sound and looked at him. She picked a piece of fish. She flew across him with it. He leaned out, tapping the rock with his feet. His mother flew across, trying to get nearer to him. The seagull had the food within the reach of his beak, but he could not get at it. The seagull waited a moment in surprise. He wondered why his mother did not come nearer. He was so mad with hunger that he dived at the fish. He fell outwards with a scream and downwards into space. His mother had swooped upwards, which means moving rapidly downwards through the air. As he passed beneath her, He heard the swish of her wings, which means to move with a hissing or rushing sound. Then a great fear caught him. His heart stood still. He could not hear anything, but it only lasted for a moment. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. He felt the wind rushing against his breast feathers. It rushed under his stomach and against his wings. He was not falling headlong now, which means downward direction. He was soaring slowly downwards and upwards. He was no longer afraid. The seagull gave out a joyous scream. He soared higher and higher. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his brothers and sister flying around him. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. He commended himself to dive, which means he pushed himself to dive. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it. He saw a vast green sea beneath him. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on the green surface of water ahead of him. They were calling him to do the same thing. He dropped his leg to stand on the green sea, but his legs sank into it. He cried with fear. He tried to rise again, flapping his wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger. He could not rise. His feet sank into the green sea. His belly touched it, but he sank no further. He was floating on it. Around him was his family, crying and praising him. They were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. These words spoken rightly by Nelson Mandela. His first flight is a parable. The seagull conveys the message of self-confidence, motivation, and self-reliance. The mother seagull motivates the young one, applying different tricks to get him to learn flying. The baby seagull realizes the importance of belief and faith. The parable also stresses the importance of family ties and filial support. Let me tell you a short story which can be applicable to us in our daily lives. So it goes like, once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high flame. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned, and impatiently he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. Turning to her, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she hastily replied. "Look closer," he said, "and touch the potatoes." She did and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, that is, the boiling water. Each reacted differently. Potato went in strong, hard, but in boiling water became soft and weak. Egg was fragile, having their outer shell protecting its liquid interior. The inside of the egg became hard. The coffee beans were unique. They changed the water and created something new. Which are you? He asked his daughter. When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? Well, this is a question for you today. What are you? Do you have that ability, like the coffee bean, to change your problems into opportunities? If yes, then you will surely see yourself from nowhere to now here. Stay home, stay safe, and keep growing, not physically but mentally and spiritually.